Coach Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro, Masters Kinesiology. I am here today to tell you 6 tips to avoid losing muscle and or even building muscle while cutting or dieting. So all of you, all the time at some point, are going to be interested in losing weight and being leaner for summer or vacation and picture, photo shoot, competition, doesn't matter. And a lot of you think you're going to be losing muscle, you need to use drugs or else you'll lose muscle. It's not the case. You can get ripped, natural, and there's just some important things you need to consider and to do to be able to do this. And so that's what this video is about. I'm not a doctor, so if you're taking up an exercise program, be sure to get the medical, opinion of your doctor as to how much you can handle and all that good stuff. All right, so number 6. So starting off, it's not really in an order. Some are more important than others, but train the same way that you trained when you were not dieting. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm going on a cutting plan. I need to now change how I train. I am going to only rest 15 or 30 seconds between sets. I'm going to get my reps up to 20, and I'm going to just go for the pump and burn off some fat because I want to burn off more calories in the weight room. That is the dumbest thing you can do ever. That is just stupid. If you do that, you're going to lose muscle. The weight room is to build muscles. Cardio is for burning fat, not to build muscle. Don't confuse the two. Don't take weightlifting and turn it into cardio. I see it all the time. So many people hire me and they rest 30 seconds between sets. If you're only resting 30 seconds, you can't lift any serious amount of weight. You're just kind of going through the motions. You may as well sit at home and do push-ups and jumping jacks. It's not going to build muscle. Train the same way you train to get the muscle in the first place. I did another video on top 10 scientific training principles on YouTube a couple weeks ago. Check that out. Be sure to check that out. Just follow those rules, with the time under tension, rest between sets, volume, training each body part twice a week, and so on. If you do all those principles, follow them, you will be able to maintain the muscles you have and even potentially build while cutting, okay? Number 5, only try to lose 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. Now, 90% of you do not know math at all, so I'm going to break it down further. If you're 100 pounds, you should only lose 1/2 to 1 pound a week. If you weigh 200 pounds, you can lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. If you weigh 300 pounds, you could lose 1.5 to 3 pounds a week. Now, why is there a range? The fatter you are, or in the worse shape that you are, the more body fat that you are, the more you can lose without losing muscle. So if you're extremely obese, we call this morbidly obese, as in you're double what you should weigh. So if you're a 400-pound man and your ideal weight by your doctor says you should weigh 200, you're in severe danger of shortening your life. You can lose more than 1% in this case. 1.5% would be fine, okay? But for the most part, if you're of a decent, we'll call it decent shape, like you're not like 100 pounds overweight, you're just like 50 pounds overweight or less, 0.5 to 1%. I would strive to lose close to that 1% at the start of the diet, and then as the weeks go by and it's harder to diet, cut it down to 0.5%. So at first, and one more thing, the first week you're going to lose more than 1% because you're losing water. It's not muscle and it's not fat, it's water weight. Because when you consume carbohydrates, for every gram of carb you eat, 3 grams of water is stored as glycogen in the muscle. So if you're eating even just 200 grams of carbs, you're going to have also 600 grams of water. That's 800 grams. That's almost 2 pounds right there. You could easily start a diet and lose 4 or 5 pounds the first week, and most of it's water, okay? So don't stress out the first week if you lost a bunch of weight. After that, if you're losing more than 1% of your weight a week, it means that you are actually overdoing it and can cut back on the cardio or basically eat more. Add a meal or add calories per meal, okay? So don't try to do it too fast. The main reason I am so against bulking is because when you bulk and you gain too much weight, you then have to diet for an extended period of time. So for example, if you put 50 pounds in your off season, you're gonna need to diet for 6 months. Who the hell wants to diet for 6 months? It's the stupidest thing in the world. You do a show or diet in the summertime, whatever, you diet, you get in great shape. Then you eat like a friggin' pig, like a 7-year-old on a birthday party, and you eat cake and ice cream and all kinds of shit, pizza and french fries, and then you gain 50 pounds and you say, oh, I gotta live life. It's about balance. Balance isn't about eating like a piece of shit for 6 months and then eating just broccoli and tilapia for 6 months. That's insanity. Eat the same kind of foods year round, just eat a little bit less when you're dieting. That's my diets are the same. I eat the same all year. I just eat less when I'm dieting, okay? I might allow myself a couple cheats a week when I'm not dieting. And when I'm dieting, I don't. So it's basically that simple. To lose 1 pound of fat a week, you need a 500 calorie deficit per day. So whatever you're eating now, if you're maintaining your weight, you need to get rid of 500 calories. You have two options. You can eat 500 calories less, or you can burn off 500 calories more. 3 options. You could burn 250 calories off with cardio, and eat 250 calories less for a total of 500. If you do that, you're going to burn 1 pound of fat a week. So those of you who are needing to lose 2 pounds a week, that's a 1,000 calorie deficit. That's pretty extreme unless you're eating like a pig. If you're a girl and you're only eating, say, 1,500 calories to start with, it's going to be very hard to cut down to 500 calories a day to lose 2 pounds of fat a week. So think about it. If you're 50 pounds overweight, you're not going to get ripped in 6 weeks. Stop thinking about it. And don't think you're going to fast and eat 1 meal a day and then that'll help. You're going to lose muscle. Okay? This is all about maximizing muscle growth while dieting here. Okay? This is the important stuff. So do not lose too fast. That's key. Do not get fat and bulk up in the off season. Don't be shredded. Don't be 5% body fat year round. But go to a respectable amount. Maybe gain 20 pounds. Then if you lose 1 to 2 pounds a week, if you're only 20 pounds to lose, that's only going to take 10 to 20 weeks. It's more reasonable than 50 pounds in your crash dieting and you lose all that extra muscle that you think you built bulking, disappears as you cut to the extreme. Number 4, avoid HIIT cardio. A lot of you are going to start debating me. HIIT cardio, it's not going to burn more calories. Doing moderate intensity cardio for half an hour is going to burn more calories than HIIT cardio for 30 minutes. I have tried both. I am an elite level bike rider. I have thousands of dollars worth of equipment that measures wattage, watts per kilo ratio, heart rate, every dynamic you can think of. I've done the HIIT cardio and I've done just riding at a comfortable pace, and I looked at the calories burned and I burnt more moderate, and the HIIT is way harder. So you're going way harder and you're burning less calories. Also, HIIT cardio is for elite level training. If you're just an average Joe Schmo and you do HIIT cardio, you're not going to recover from it. It is too hard. It's too intense. Then you have to go and do weights too. You start doing some sprints, running, and then you have to go do squats the next day or later. You can't recover from both. You're going to be diminished abilities to train hard in the weight room, which is going to take away from your ability to grow muscle. So HIIT cardio will ruin your chances of growing muscle while dieting. It sounds counterintuitive. HIIT cardio, people have said, you know, it burns more calories. It burns more calories in the after part of the... It doesn't. It's like 30 calories more. I mean, what is 30? If I do an hour of cardio and I burn 1,000 calories, am I really worried about the 30 calories that I'm burning extra in the recovery period when I'm in oxygen debt? And it's not worth... It's insignificant. It's like worrying about how much salt you put on your rice and saying, oh my God, it's going to make me fat because I'm going to hold more water. It's not making you fat. It's just water. It doesn't count. Okay? So remember that. No hit cardio. Okay? Moderate intensity allows you to recover better. Number 3, eat protein 5 times a day. So this is why fasting and all this doesn't work. If you fast, you're not eating 5 times a day. You're eating probably 2 or 3 in a 6-hour window, maybe an 8-hour window. This is what happens. As soon as you eat, your body gets the stimulus for growth and muscles start growing. Think of it as you have a group of carpenters ready to build your house. As soon as you eat protein, it's like the carpenters are standing there and like, oh, look, the nails and the wood are in. Let's build a wall. If you don't eat protein, they're sitting there thinking, oh, let's just relax. Someday they'll give us, oh, the fast is over in 16 hours. Now let's get to work. People are like, yeah, but it ups the growth hormone. It doesn't do it enough to make a significant difference. You can't just prove cause and effect. Just because fasting increases growth hormone levels doesn't mean that those growth hormone levels lead to increased muscle growth. If you don't have any building blocks, it doesn't do anything. Oh, it'd be like, well, I'm going to hire 100 carpenters to build my house faster. But there's no material. You need cement and wood and nails, hammers. They're just sitting there, 100 guys. It's not doing anything. I'd rather have one guy working with a hammer and a nail and wood and able to actually work than 100 doing jack shit. Okay? It doesn't work. You need 5 protein meals a day. Oh, but how could you diet? 5 meals is so many calories. A meal can be a can of tuna. A meal can be 2 Greek yogurts. That's like 100 calories. It could be a cup of Greek yogurt, 140 calories. It could be 100 grams of chicken, 130 calories. It doesn't need to be a freaking hamburger or a cup of rice and a this and a that. Just some protein, some cottage cheese, some tuna, some salmon. It could be 3 normal meals of, say, 500 calories and 2 meals of 200 calories. That's only 1,900 calories. For most men, that's a strict, severe diet, okay? So do not think you can't eat 5 freaking meals a day. Most people eat breakfast and lunch and supper, and then they eat a snack at recess time. I'm talking about in school, and they eat before bed, and they have chips and pop and candy. 5 meals is not a lot. So eat 5 meals a day to maximize protein synthesis. If you don't eat 5 meals a day, eat 4. That's the next best level. If you don't eat 4, have 3. If you get under 3, you're not eating enough. At least with 3, it's not so bad. Law of diminished returns. The more meals you have, the less they're effective. 6 isn't better than 5. 7 isn't better than 6. 5 is slightly better than 4. Not a lot, but slightly. And we're talking about cutting and building muscle. So do it. Maximize your growth. Why not when you can? Number 2. Avoid empty stomach cardio. Oh, avoid empty stomach cardio, but that's what I do. When you skip breakfast and do cardio, it's like your carpenters are sitting there thinking, when is this dude gonna buy us some wood and some nails and a hammer? We're sitting here waiting while he does empty stomach cardio. Ugh. Give him some protein, then go do your cardio. Now, this is what studies have shown. If you do empty stomach cardio, you're not going to be able to perform at the same level, intensity, duration, time as if you eat first. So take 2 people, me and you. We both go do cardio. You're in an empty stomach. I just ate breakfast. I'm going to go faster, longer, and harder than you because I have fuel in my body to do this. If you just skip breakfast and go do it, you're going to go through cardio. You're probably walking on the stepper at 50 steps a minute, walking the dog. This is grandma cardio. I'm talking about moderate intensity cardio. Not HIIT, moderate, but not grandma pace, okay? Some decent level cardio. You can still talk, but you're tired, okay? Just do it like that. I don't want to say heart rate because some people have bradycardia, some tachycardia. Maximum heart rates are different levels of training, different environments. If you had a pre-workout or not, it's going to affect your heart rate. So I could do a whole video, and I think I may have on heart rate. And so, yeah, I did. Check it out, that heart rate. Okay, so be sure to eat breakfast because you will burn more calories. Oh, but if you do it fasted, you burn a higher percentage of fat than whatever. It doesn't matter because in the end of the day, we all know calories in versus calories out. Whoever's in the greater deficit will burn more fat. Okay, if you eat before breakfast, Maybe you burn less fat during the exercise, but when the exercise is over, guess what? You're not eating because you just had breakfast. You did breakfast and you did an hour of cardio. Now you're not eating. You're continuing to burn more fat after the exercise just took place. You do empty stomach cardio and you go do your cardio. You burn more fat during the cardio. Sure, a little bit more during. Then guess what happens after? After you eat. And then guess what? You burn less fat then. It balances out. The body is not stupid. We have extreme levels of sophistication. Homeostasis. The body understands how to balance fat and not fat. And from an evolutionary point, it's not advantageous to be 5% body fat. The higher your fat, the better. A slow metabolism is better because you need less food to survive, and you will, if say there's no food for 3 months in the winter, if you're fat, you're going to survive. The skinny dude is going to die off because he doesn't have any body fat to live off of. Okay? Makes sense. Number one, final reason. Limit cardio to the least amount that you need to do to get the desired results. By that I mean, don't start off with an hour a day because maybe you can lose just the diet alone with the minimum amount of cardio that you're doing is enough to cause the weight loss to where you want it to be. Save the cardio for when you don't need it. So 0.5 to 1%. Week 1, you lose 2 pounds. Week 2, you lose 2 pounds. Week 3, 1.5 pounds. Week 4, 1 pound. Okay, now it's time to add some cardio. 30 minutes a day. Back to 2 pounds. 2 pounds, then 1.5 pounds, then 1 pound. Let's bump it up. 45 minutes, back to 2 pounds, then bump it up. So you keep bumping it up when you're burning at this too slow of a rate. If you start at 2 hours a day, where do you go from there? You're going to be doing 5 hours cardio by the end of the prep. Not fun. Too much cardio. You won't be able to recover it. Remember, progressive overload. If you are not super fit and you just start doing 60 minutes of cardio a day, your legs are going to be tired. And when you go train legs and your legs are tired, you're not going to lift as heavy or as hard, and the results will show in you losing muscle as you diet. Dieting is a hard time to build muscle. It's much harder than in a calorie surplus when you have tons of energy, okay? But if you follow these rules, you can definitely get there, okay? You may not grow muscle, but you won't lose it. And that's the plus, because then after the cut's over and you eat normal calories and you don't bulk up, you just put back on the 20 pounds or so that you lost, you will then be able to gain more muscle. Hope this helped. Check out my, basically my website. It's gregdoucette.com. This is for coaching. I have all my various plans. 80% of my clients are not bodybuilders. I get 1,000 messages per week. 1,000, okay? Do not write this much stuff and think I'm going to read it and respond. The response is going to be, check out my website, gregdoucette.com, if you want to hire me for coaching. I am not here to spend 1 hour, 5 hours a day answering questions for free. I do my best to answer on YouTube. It's hard. I work 10 hours a day. I try to cap it there. I don't want to overburn myself out from work, okay? So please, I do this for a living. Hire me if you need me to answer questions. We do phone consults, email questions, whatever I train you. The whole thing is there. It's all on my website. Please subscribe, like this video, and till next time.